Good day. This is Kelly Giles with Republic Nation News Podcast here in Amarillo, Texas. I'm joined today by Trent Sizemore. We're going to talk a little bit about the recent economic development here in the Amarillo area and Randall and Potter County and the other surrounding counties. And so, Trent, welcome to the program. And
it's good to be here, Kelly.
And we are glad you're here. And but for a lot of our listeners, if you wouldn't mind, just kind of tell us your history growing up here in Amarillo.
Sure.
And kind of how people come to know you.
I've lived here all my life. My great-grandfather moved here 102 years ago to be the pastor at Buchanan Street Baptist Church. And so he was there for 20 years before he moved to Dallas to preach at the Oaklawn Baptist Church. And he was there for many years. But his son then, my grandfather, was a minister here after that time for 41 years at the Line Avenue Baptist Church and the Olson Park Baptist Church. And so our family's been here for 102 years. My father and I worked together for 47 years. In fact, we still work together every day in some of our ancillary businesses. But my dad had a gas station on 34th and Western. And so that's where I started working with him at 13. And we worked together, and then we started Travel-Land. It was just the two of us. I was his only employee.
Oh, man.
And the Lord blessed us through that business. Is up and down, it's like any other business, but the people of the community were very supportive, and we were in that business for 47 years. And I'm very thankful for that.
It was a great company and a great contributor to the Amarillo community.
Yes.
In many facets, so to speak. But you've got another job here too.
Well,
recently you've become a liaison for the Fermy operation,
which is kind of strange. I after we sold Travel-Land, I ran it for the new company for 4 years, and till they decided they wanted to be open on Sundays, and we decided that was a good time to part ways. But everything was very amicable. They were good people. So I served in the music ministry at the church at Quail Creek, which was San Jacinto Baptist Church, for 26 years, and served on our city council and served as mayor, serving the people. So it's kind of
in my nature. You were mayor of Amarillo for a period.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
For two terms, I was mayor.
2 terms. What years were that?
That was 2001 to 2005.
Okay.
And I was city council member from 95 to 2001. So I served 5 terms. And it was a great time to be in public service. Got a lot of things done. We brought Bell to town, secured our water rights for the next 300 years. Had some wonderful things, and then some tragedies. 9/11 happened while I was mayor, and then the space shuttle Columbia with Rick Husband and disintegrated on reentry, and so that was a time of sorrow for our community. But so after we sold Travel-Land, I decided to just kind of we have some other businesses, and my dad and I still work together every day. He's 85, and we have a great time. And so I was doing that and happy with that and playing a little golf. And so Fermy called me and asked me to come to work for him as a liaison, really not to work for him. I said I'd rather be an independent consultant so I can really represent the people of the community and not, even though they pay me, I still feel can have my loyalties to the people of
right. So let me ask you, for our listeners out there that are just coming to understand the development that's going on.
Yes.
Fermy. So that's an acronym, Fermi. So what does that mean? What does it stand for?
It's actually a person's name. Okay. Enrico Fermi was the inventor of the nuclear reactor in 1941.
Cool.
And so had he not invented that, we wouldn't have had the bomb that we dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 45 that probably saved a million American lives.
At least.
So it's Fermi America, but it's Fermi is Enrico Fermi is who that's
Okay.
attributed to.
Okay, so it trades publicly. The Fermi company
Yes,
trades publicly.
it does. And so I went to work for them as a liaison about, I guess, 6 months ago. Governor Perry, who'd been a very dear friend of mine.
Rick Perry.
I flew him through the years when he was running for agricultural commissioner.
Right.
I was his pilot some, and then I flew him and Governor Clements, and then when he ran for lieutenant governor, I flew him then, and
Right.
and so we were friends. And he called me, and he's one of the directors in Fermi, and said,
Okay.
This company has to do with national defense also, and he said, we need you on our team. And so I said, I'll come out of retirement,
Golf
semi-retirement, yeah, to help on that. And I said, but I have a couple of caveats. One is if it's the Amarillo or Fermi, Amarillo's going to win. If it's Carson County or Fermi, Carson County is going to win. It's because I'm loyal to the people of this community.
Right.
And they've been very generous in every negotiation with the Amarillo community. In fact, overly generous, and I've been very thankful for that. It hasn't been like a fight. They've been willing to just say, yeah, what's fair for Amarillo, what's fair for the Panhandle.
Right. So let's delve in a little bit deeper.
Sure.
So Fermi is an AI center. And this is where a lot of people are really trying to grasp what that means. So artificial intelligence. So basically, as I understand it, it's a mega amount of computer capacity.
It is.
Computer chips. And just explain a little bit about how it functions, and then we'll get over on the military side or the security side. But just tell us kind of what's going to be in this facility.
That's a great question. Kelly, what Fermi is building is the largest private power producer in the United States. So in AI, it's all about power.
Right.
You can't run AI without tremendous amounts of power and energy to run them. China has built 30 nuclear reactors since we built our last one. China's not building those nuclear reactors to run the air conditioning in Shanghai.
It's going to be for military purposes, defense purposes.
It's for AI and these purposes. So as a nation, we're behind in the power war. We need 50 gigawatts of power over the next 5 years. And excluding Fermi, there's only 2 coming online. Fermi's going to produce 11 gigawatts of power. Let me kind of put that in simple terms. That's basically 3 Dallases of power. 2 gigawatts is the Hoover Dam.
Okay.
So Fermi's building 11 gigawatts.
So this, I want to explain this for people out there listening. So Fermi, through artificial intelligence, these computers, and they are going to utilize a nuclear reactor. Is that correct?
Yes. So
to power their computing space.
That's it. So they're building a power generation like you'd think of Harrington Station or Nichols, what Excel does, but it's private power. And they're building 15 million square feet of buildings that they then will lease out to these mega people. I can't, you'd know all 7 of them if I mentioned them, but I want to be careful because some of them we're in negotiations with. And
let's say someone like Google.
Someone like Google.
Like Google.
And then to lease that out to those people, and then they put their chips in. My wife said, simplify it for me. And I said, well, they're building a mall like Wolfland Village, and they'll build the buildings, and then the tenants come in and decorate them like they want them decorated with their AI chips.
Okay.
And then to build the power. Most AI data centers don't produce their own power, so they're taking it off the grid.
Right.
And there's not enough extra power to do that.
So number one point that I've picked up on in your discourse here is that we have Pantex. So, in the Panhandle, we're already used to dealing with nuclear presence. So we're already used to that because that's a big part of our economy too.
It is.
Is Pantex.
8,000 employees.
Yes. So we need to understand that. And then also in the Fermi facilities, they are going to utilize nuclear reactors, which are what I call the new family or the new generation of nuclear reactors that are going to power all this computing space, which will then be rented out to some of these big mega users of artificial intelligence.
Yes.
So am I on the right track?
Yes, sir.
And so they're going to do that. But to get it up and started, number one, they're going to need land, which they have acquired land in Carson County. And any other Gray County?
Yes. No, Carson County is where the land is, and it's Texas Tech's land.
Okay.
So Texas Tech receives all the revenue off the land. It's Texas Tech's sovereign property, basically.
Nice for Texas Tech.
It's just wonderful for Texas Tech. It's about 10 sections of land.
It's nice to know somebody else's money is going to Texas Tech besides mine.
Yes.
But anyway, so we got this land, and they are currently out there developing. I saw a lot of earth movers, scrapers, engineering flags. I've been out there and driven around it. And so there's a lot of activity going on.
There is.
And how long will it take to put this in?
Hopefully, by the end of 2026,
26.
there'll be 1 megawatt of power and one tenant, probably 1 million to 3 million square feet.
Okay.
To build out the entire 11 megawatts and 15 million square feet, that's going to take 15 years. Basically, you think of Bell Helicopter and all those buildings.
Right, took time.
That's 1 million square feet.
Yeah.
So when you start building buildings and building on this scale, it takes a lot of time. But there'll be tenants there that begin to occupy each space as it's built.
It can get up and start cash flowing a little bit and still continue to build, because that's one of the questions the community has is, number one, the water issue. Do you think that's going to be a net wash? No pun intended, but it looks like they will use some water. But we've got other users of water too. We've got beef packing plants. We've got lots of other commercial users of water in Amarillo. And you mentioned earlier that you were mayor when we kind of secured about 300 years of water supply. And so just so everybody knows, I'm in agriculture, so I'm in ranching, so I talk to a lot of other farmers, and the city is still out in the country trying to buy water rights from a lot of my neighbors.
Absolutely.
And so the city's still expanding their water rights agenda, so that they haven't just closed down and said, we've got enough for 300 years. They keep adding to it.
They do.
And so they are going to use water, but there are other entities that are using water. That was kind of a main concern was, initial reaction is how much water, And
it's a good, here in the Panhandle, it's a good reaction and I'll tell you, I'm a water hawk.
Right.
When I said I had a couple of caveats, one was that Amarillo or the Carson County or the Panhandle always wins on the negotiation.
Right.
Secondly, I was concerned about water because that's kind of my legacy is the water that we purchased for the city. But the amount of water that's used in the Panhandle every day for agriculture is probably 9 billion gallons and about 6 million gallons a minute. And at full production, Fermy's doing all kinds of innovation right now on cooling. They've come up with a way to cool on the gas cycle turbines that that will reduce water consumption by about 85%.
So when you say gas turbines, you're talking about natural gas turbines, which
So
are generators.
So that'll be the way that the plant is powered for the first 6 gigawatts. It will be combined cycle natural gas. Same thing that's used at the Harrington Station. That's the natural gas hub of the United States, right there under the land next to Pantex.
Right.
So there's abundant natural gas, and but natural gas uses water to cool. So they're using all kinds of new technologies for the cooling of that, and in the nuclear, they've come up with scientific ways to cool the nuclear reactors that instead of using 22 million gallons of water a day on a nuclear reactor, they use about 3 million. So about 1/10 of the water, and still have 98% efficiency.
Great.
So they're working with the federal government now to get that approved. And of course, safety is their number one concern.
Sure.
I mean, not only for the people of the plant, but economically, it's important to them that it's a safe plant. They don't want anything that would shut it down. And nuclear is incredibly safe. It gets a bad rap, but I mean, like you said, we've lived with nuclear here at the next to us.
We're used to it.
We are. And no one in the United States has ever been killed by nuclear. And they've been killed by wind and solar and gas. And
let's keep that one going.
we do. It's very important. And so they have the number one nuclear scientist, I think, in the world, Mitzot Yutzman, working for them. He's built the last 12 nuclear reactors in the world. So he's a very intelligent guy.
So number one, it's artificial intelligence.
Yes.
There is a Department of, now they call it the Department of War. They've gone back to that.
Yes.
It's the old Department of Defense for military use. And believe me, we have to keep up with our competitors there. So this is a necessary thing.
Absolutely.
In order to keep it up. So we're participating just like Bell Helicopter is Department of Defense. This is going to be another Department of Defense. And when you think through that from the economic side, it diversifies our local economy because we are heavily dependent on cattle, agriculture here. So this helps us diversify.
I have to be careful when I say it's the Department of Defense.
Right.
I just there's some things I can't say.
Gotcha.
So you said that, I didn't.
I did.
Okay. I will say this: that the Secretary of Energy has Fermi's plans on his wall, and
he's excited.
When Fermi had to move some land so that Pantex would have a larger shoot to kill zone, Fermi traded some land with Pantex. It went through 28 regulatory agencies, which should take 6 years probably with the federal government. They got everybody in one room. It took 45 days. So I think this is important to the administration to be able to have this.
And so of course, where we come through on Republic Nation, we're very focused on the constitutional republic form of governance and our own United States Constitution. So when we think about affirming that, protecting that, thinking ahead, so that we have the power to offstand our challengers or our adversaries. It's very important. So we've covered a little bit of the water, a little bit of the nuclear side, the energy side. Now something that has got everybody's interest is, what about the employment side? Now, we know temporarily there's going to be thousands of workers out there building and constructing, but what does it look like for us, the community of Amarillo, number one, as far as numbers of long-term jobs, and number two, what are we going to need to do as far as WT or Amarillo College in keeping up with the skill set that's going to be necessary to fill those positions?
That's another great question. And we're already working with Amtech and Amarillo College Workforce Development, and we're working with them already, looking at this next generation. Because here's something that's so incredible. We have we have some really great resources here in the Panhandle. One is our water resources, but probably the most important resource, well, there'd be a couple: our culture and our young people. And we are exporting our number one asset, these young people, to Dallas and Austin and these mega cities. We train them. They have our culture. They have our character, the Panhandle, and these cities are grabbing them because they know they're going to work hard.
Right.
They know they've got the West Texas culture. And so if we can do more to keep them here, that's important, because that way we're not exporting our number one asset, our kids.
Absolutely.
And so to do that, we're working through Amarillo College, Amtech, and then we'll have other kinds of training. But Texas Tech will even have an AI campus.
That's right.
At the facility.
That's right.
For training. You ask about numbers. It's hard to get a grasp because AI is doing so many things that
Right.
help in that. But if you just think about mowing the yard on 10 sections of land, cleaning the windows on buildings, I mean, just normal maintenance, that's a lot of people. And then you have all the computer specialists and everyone that's working within the data centers themselves. And then considering you've got 11 XL power plants, basically. So you've got to have nuclear engineers. You've got to have people that can work on these kinds. So I'm guessing probably 3,000 to 5,000 full-time jobs and probably 7,000 to 10,000 people working in the construction.
Right. So when we think about that now, long-term employees, they have to have a place to live.
Yes.
So we have to have construction for that. The interest rates are starting to ease off a little bit. That's a major factor. But I know builders have been frustrated the last couple of years because of the building cost versus what a young family's capable of making in a payment. The two are just, it's out of balance right now.
Yes.
So in getting the cost down, number one, fuel prices coming down will help tremendously. Overall energy costs on construction. We still have an issue with the lumber mills. There seems to be some type of, I don't want to call it a monopoly, but there's an issue with the farmers in East Texas trying to sell pine trees to the lumber mills. Yes. And the lumber mills just won't give anything for the trees, and yet the lumber's out of sight. So I'm asking for anybody out there that's paying attention to maybe take a look at that, because that's part of the issue too. It's not just the cost of the real estate, it's the cost of the lumber and everything that goes into that. But anyway, so it does look like, sure, an opportunity for us to grow in the Amarillo area. I think it's important that we kind of have podcasts like this to kind of, put the information out there.
Sure.
And it just looks tremendous. But by the same token, a lot of our existing hotels, entertainment venues, restaurants, one of the things that I hear from them a lot is that it's great that the long-term and the short-term effects of Fermi are going to be here. But with that added population, being a destination for events in the Amarillo area, because that's how they kind of sell that hotel rental space and yes. the table sales at restaurants, is they have to have events. They have to have traffic flow. So what are your thoughts on that? On what kind of, will that increase our flow of traffic through Amarillo? Obviously the building phase will, but what about long term?
I think long term it will. Here's something that we have to consider too. AI is going to change the world. There'll be jobs that are here today that won't be here in 5 years.
Right.
And so communities that don't have anywhere for those people to go will actually lose population. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how much of a net wash it is or if it's an increase. It's hard to guess the future, and I don't have that. There's only one who knows the future, and he's omnipotent, and he knows everything.
Right, and I'm with you.
And omniscient, and so he knows. But there may be some that where you take, for instance, someone that has a job that's replaced by AI, but it's a very intelligent person that can go out there and start a new job in AI. And so I think it's always important. And we had this with Bell when we brought Bell to town. Mm-hmm. What about, are they going to steal people's employees, or what's it going to do to our population? You got to keep growing. As a community, if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yes.
And so we don't know what that'll look like. A lot of the workers that are in the building, if you think about it, the Permian Basin has pretty well built out over the last 15 years. I mean, they've built, 13 billion barrels of oil that they can produce, and they'll still be fracking, directional drilling, but the major build out, I think, of the Permian Basin is coming towards an end. There's going to be a lot of workers that need places to work. So I think some of that workforce will come from there. A lot of it will come from here. But a lot of those people I know from being in the recreational vehicle business, they have RVs, and so they'll be in camps around the facility, and so it will affect some of that, but it will also, more restaurants will come if they need to, but we've got to continue to be a tourist destination because we've got a lot for the world to see, and it's a great place for people to visit. And so tourism will always be a great industry. Who knows on the entertainment? It's tough promoting concerts and stuff. I promoted 134 concerts when I was the music minister at San Jacinto and Quail Creek through the years, but it's always, you just never know if it's going to be a big concert or a bust, and so I think I'll leave that up to the promoters.
Well, I think you hit on a good point that the military aspect of this is highly needed. We're already a military production community.
Yes.
Number two, I think it's also a good point, just to be honest, that we're not necessarily exact on what the future will bring with this, but by the same token, we have to continue to grow and expand. The only option to that, the alternative to that, is to shrink, and that would not be good for anybody.
No.
And just as in this technology, agriculture is changing as well.
Absolutely,
and
it's the most highly technological industry there is. When you think that 70% of the people used to work in agriculture, and today there's probably 2%.
Yeah.
Technology has changed agriculture.
And it's going to continue to change. So lots of things going to be different going forward as well. And so I think the thing that the takeaway we want to have out there is that things are changing. You're here today. I appreciate you coming in and just,
sure. I'm thankful to be here with you, Kelly.
And Trent's just being up front. He's the liaison for Fermy, and sharing the information that he has and the information he can share about it. And so I'll ask you here real quick, is there anything you want to add?
No, I'm just thankful for you and thankful for what you do. And I'm very thankful to get to live in this community and plan to live here the rest of my life. And so I'm not going to do anything knowingly that will hurt my community. I want to help. And it was worth it to me to involve myself in this for 2 or 3 years if I could help set culture and do things so that this company has West Texas culture in it from the start.
And is there a website for Fermy?
Yes, just fermyamerica.com.
fermyamerica.com.
Yes, sir.
And so if people want to find out more about the company, do you know where it's trading right now, stock-wise?
I didn't look, and I try not to look at stock on any stock, but especially stocks I own, because I just buy something for a long time.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't want to say if it's a good trade or a bad trade, because I don't want to end up like Martha Stewart. So I'll let people make their own mind up on that because they'd be smarter than me.
Well, we appreciate that, and a lot of things going on. We have a lot of positives in the Texas Panhandle here. It's the best place I ever lived in my life.
Yes.
And I love it here and been here a long time. And the culture is I just miss it. Whenever I leave here and I travel, I just miss the Texas Panhandle so much. And as soon as I come back across that state line,
Yes,
I'm just
sir.
like, woo, I'm back in Texas again.
Yes, sir.
Well, very good, Trent. We appreciate you. Thank you
Appreciate
for coming
you.
in. And if you ever need to come back on, please let us know, and we'll get back in front of the cameras again.
Sounds good.
Thank you
very
very
much, sir.